I recall Central Park in fall, how you tore your dress. What a mess, I confess.
Hey, so I'm quitting my job today, more or less. I'm going in for a job interview because I'm planning on quitting my current job. So that's fun, not stressful at all. You know how it is. Just easy stuff. I don't know. I'm quitting this job not because it's a bad job or I don't like it, but because it's gotten a little too easy in a sense. I don't know if that makes sense. It probably doesn't. But it's like when I first moved out, several months ago, it was really difficult, really stressful, and I was working this really crummy job. And I had no routine. It was wake up, scramble to work. Work was hectic. Scramble back, figure out what I'm doing for dinner. Not eat breakfast. It was just really hectic and busy, and then with the whole car breaking down thing and then having to move back for a couple weeks, that was miserable. And just not having any schedule or routine. It really sucked. But then with this job, it's been really nice. It's been really nice and really routine, really easy. I remember the first day when I finally built up enough of a schedule that I actually had time to eat breakfast and watch a TV show while I did, and it was super chill, super relaxing. And it was super weird because it's wow, I have free time in the morning. This is crazy. And, I got to thinking to myself, I could do that for a long time, just live this really easy, mundane life/job and just have my routine and same week on repeat for the rest of my life. And I'd save up money and 401k and that would work out probably fine, but that's not what I want to do with my life. I don't want to be living in the same house, same warehouse, same job. I have a warehouse job. But, same job for the rest of my life, And another reason, it's I still have money enough to spend on things that I want, but I don't have enough money to go travel or buy a new car or do anything like that, reasonably. And so I'm going to be switching to a different warehouse where I'm going to be making more money. And the hours will be different. I'll have to wake up earlier, but that won't be so difficult. I'll find a routine with this one, but with the extra money I'll be making, I'll be able to invest in my projects. I'll be able to save up to go traveling, And, after that, I want to move somewhere else and get, live in a different city, Want to go out and experience other places besides this small town I've always lived in. I know, it sounds like a real epic hero's journey, I'm sure. But it is true, I'm not just... It sounds cliche, but I really do want to go out and live somewhere else. But you need money to do that. And, that money takes time and effort, and you're not going to get money just living the same casual, mundane life you have been living. You're going to have to go out and do difficult things like job interviews and, getting up earlier and working harder. It's not always going to be just a casual train ride, slow train ride. I don't know what analogy I'm going with right here, but I think you get the idea. So I called out of work to do this interview today. And it's the second time I've called out in the entire time I've worked at this warehouse, so it's not going to get me in trouble. But it is annoying that other people had today scheduled to go do stuff. So I was like, okay, if you can't schedule me, I'm going to have to call out. So I guess I have the rest of the day off after this interview. I'll probably film some more stuff, but yeah, that's the basic idea of what I'm doing today. With what I said in the first episode, I said that each episode I want to give some value to you guys, whether it's entertainment or knowledge or, news or something valuable. And, with this episode, I'm not sure what I'm supposed to be giving. I guess if, maybe you're, still in your teens and you're still living at home, maybe I want to give you a little bit of an idea of what it's like to actually have to go out and live life, and be responsible for yourself and what it is you're doing and what you want. I was talking to this kid at the warehouse I'm working at a while back, and he dropped out of college because he was depressed and he didn't really know why he was there. And I didn't go to college. Mainly because, for a lot of reasons. One, it's a scam. Number two, I don't see why I would need to, because I'm not going to be a doctor or a lawyer. And anything in the trades, you can go to trade school for that. So, when it comes to wanting to go travel and, go places and be out on your own and have a car, it's going to take effort and work. It's not just going to be like, oh, I dropped out of college, I'm going to sit in this warehouse and throw boxes all day because I don't know what I want to do with my life. You have to have some idea of what you want to do. For me, I want to go travel to somewhere specific and then stay there and, hang out. And that's kind of like my life goal right now, as far as short term goes. And by short term, I mean a year. I'm hoping that with this job, and I work for, I mathed it out at one point. I think it'll take me about 5-6 months, and then I'll have, enough for savings and then extra. But I'll probably still be working there for a little longer, and then I can end up go traveling. Because by then summer will be over. So, having some idea of what you want to do will help. Otherwise, you'll just fall into routine. And trust me, it's like golden handcuffs. It's really comfortable. It's a really nice job. I like it. I built up a friend group at this warehouse, and at lunch break we all hang out, and it's pretty fun. And when I switch jobs, I'll miss everyone there, but that's life. You have to, after moving out, you're with your family your whole life, and then it's like, okay, goodbye. And now with this job, it's like, okay, built up another pseudo family, and now it's like, okay, goodbye. And then with this next warehouse, it'll be kind of the same thing, and then at some point I'll be like, okay, goodbye. And it's a lot of goodbyes, but it's also a lot of hellos. It's a lot of goodbyes, but it's a lot of hellos. And you just have to enjoy life where you're at, I enjoyed it, it was fun, but it's time to move on to the next thing. So I guess I'll stop the video here. I'll let you know how it goes afterwards. Alright, so we have this inhaler. Inhaler? How do you say inhale? Inhaler. We have an inhaler. So I'm going to be trying this out. Let's go. Ready? What a rush. That was actually really nice. My lungs feel good after that. That was nice. I don't want to make it a habit, though. Could be bad.
Inhaling steam.
inhaling steam. No, actually, my lungs feel a lot better.
It helps
Like
mine
a
until it
sponge
doesn't.
that just got watered, so it's like bouncy. Don't do drugs, kids. Well, all things considered, I think that interview went rather well. The building caught on fire. No, just kidding. Nothing that exciting. Basically, they took me to this back room, strapped me to a chair, and held my eyelids open and made me watch this like introduction video. It felt like propaganda. It was pretty great. 10 out of 10. Would not watch again. But like the editing was cool. They had this shot where they had this drone like moving over the building, and they like videotaped the trucks and stuff. And you know, it was an all right video. You know, it was all right. I would not watch it again, but I was not bad. And that's basically what I told them when they asked what I thought about it. You know, I think honesty is important. You know, especially when it comes to talking to big corporations. Nah. But look, what you gotta do is lie to the interview. This is horrible. I'm terrible at this. But no, in all seriousness, I thought it went rather well. After they asked me what they thought of the propaganda video, after that they asked me some like simple questions of like, have you ever gone above and beyond for your work? And you know, in at my current job, it's like I would say no, like not in like any heroic sense. It's not like, wow, you went above and beyond, you get a gold star. It's more of just like, this thing is broken, I'm gonna try and fix it, you know, or this is a wreck, I need to clean it up, you know, or I should clean it up just because it's right here in front of me. But no case where it's like, wow, you went above and beyond, you know. And I think when it comes to working for corporations and, you know, just companies in general, if you're not getting paid to do it, don't bother, because no one cares. You're not going to get promoted for like, you know, doing this little thing extra unless you like go over your way and be like, guess what I did? I went above and beyond and did this small little thing that no one really cares about, which is why it was broken or like that in the first place, you know. Especially with like these jobs, it's like, look, I'm not getting paid enough to care, you know. I'm like expendable. If they thought it would save them money, they'd fire me in an instant, you know. And you know, I don't take that personally, you know. They're a business and they're doing what they need to make their company run, and you know, I'm doing what I need to do to, you know, live my life. And yeah, I think that's fine. That's just how the world works. But when it comes to an interview, you know, you gotta cheese it a little bit, in my opinion, you know. Not just my opinion, that's what I've heard from everyone else. It's like, you know, there's things to make an interview go well. I thought he was kind of dry though. You know, I think I'm kind of funny, you know, depending on the scenario. But I think, I don't know, I wonder how many interviews he does in a day, because dang, he looked done with life. Kind of feel bad for him. He's like, just, it was so funny. But yeah, he asked me some other questions. Like one was, how do you feel about mandatory overtime work, or working overtime mandatorily? And I said, well, if it's mandatory, I don't see where I have an option, you know, because he's like, would you rather not? And it's like, well, if it's mandatory, then like, you know, I don't see how that's even a question. It's mandatory, you know. I guess in some way that makes sense. And then he asked me like, okay, what's a reasonable excuse to call out? And I told him, you know, hospital or flat tire. And those were the only two I could think of. You know, if I wanted a day off specifically, I think I would schedule it in advance, you know. I'd be like, hey, I need this day for like, you know, this event that's happening, or this thing that's going on. I think though with the new schedule, like working from 7, it says there's 7 a.m., 11 p.m. and then 3 p.m. I think I'm going to want to work the 7 a.m. shift just so I have the afternoons off, or be alive during the daytime. And then with that, it's like, okay, it'll suck because then I'll have to go to work tomorrow and I'll be tired. But, if I have more of the afternoon off, I think I'll be good to like not need specific whole days off. I can just work and then be tired the next day and recover from that. I'd rather not have to skip any days, but people are like, hey, we're doing this thing on Monday, and it's like, haha, I have a full-time job, I'm gonna have to call out of work for that. And it's like they probably want like a legitimate excuse as opposed to just like, hey, we're hanging out, and with the summer, right around the corner, I do want to like go do things, but sacrifices must be made. If you have the bigger the dream, the bigger the vision, the more the sacrifice. And that's something that a lot of people aren't taught these days. It's like, look, if you want big things, you're going to have to make big sacrifices. And people are think like, oh, you just do the minimum, you do the bare minimum, and things are just going to be handed to you. And it's like, that's not the truth. The truth is, if you do the minimum, you get the minimum. If you go the extra mile, you put in the extra effort, you're going to get the extra, and that's just my mind on it. Like the same thing with going above and beyond for work. If a lot of the times it doesn't work in your favor to do that for like a big corporation. But when it comes to your personal life, like with YouTube, with learning an instrument, with, programming, with anything, if you do the extra work, you go the extra mile, you put in the extra time, it does pay off, little bit by little bit, it compounds, and then you get compound interest. So, yeah, I think that's where I'll end this part of the video, but, I don't know, we'll see where the rest of the day today takes us, because the day's not over. Now I have the whole day to do whatever. Maybe I should have like figured out a way to like just get the morning off, or like schedule it earlier. Maybe if I did schedule it earlier, I could have gone to the interview and then to work today. But I don't know, it is what it is. I'll survive, and trust me, at the warehouse I'm working at, whether I work there or not, they're not, feeling it. They're just gonna hire more people. They should really treat their employees better. Maybe then people wouldn't be so apathetic towards them. It's like, it's like if you treated your employees better, did better time, showed that you actually like cared, like instead of playing favorites, you actually valued every employee, and we could see that in like the hours that are being scheduled, then people wouldn't want to quit, like me. So, methinks it is what it is. But yeah, I'll see you in a few.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. They don't stop coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running.
What, feds?
Feds!
Get down!
Okay. Life is like a box. Policemen. They're pretty great. Hold up. What is it again?
Police are like a box of chocolates. Don't kill your dog.
Police are like a... Police eat boxes of chocolates. Police are like a box of...
Is it really this hard for you? You try it.
Police are like a box of chocolates. They'll kill your dog. not that hard.
You're right, it's not that funny. Well, when you do it, it's not that funny.
Because I'm saying it in such a serious tone.
Yeah. But I'm not that serious. This is the opposite of serious. Sad thoughts. Dog just died.
You're doing like a PSA.
That's the opposite. of
Yeah,
sad.
a PSA, you know?
Oh,
Just
like
like,
I just walked in like
police are like a
Police-
box of chocolates.
Police are like
Just do that.
police are like a box of chocolates. They'll kill your dog and sleep with your wife. Police are like a box of chocolates. They'll kill your dog. Da 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 da.
Oh, great way to.
I think that works, right?